Hey everyone, and welcome to episode 23 of Popcorn Problems. My name is Elon Pressman, and I'm here with my very good friend and fellow co-host.
Nicholas DePasco. Every week, we'll make sure you're caught up with the biggest news and movies in Hollywood.
This week we're going to be reviewing Send Help, one of last weekend's biggest new releases. But before we get to that, what's poppin'? Where we run through the biggest movie stories of the week. What's up, guys? I hope everyone is having a great week. We are 1/12 done with 2026. We are already in February, which is diabolical.
Insane.
Like actually crazy. Um, yeah, it's gonna be a good episode. Let's start off with the box office. At number one this weekend was Send Help. It opened at $20 million domestic, 28.1 global, on a $40 million budget. It's the first Sam Raimi horror film since Drag Me to Hell in 2009. And it opened with 93% Rotten Tomatoes. At number two is Iron Lung, uh, which has a domestic opening of 17.8 million and a global debut of 21.7 million on a sub $3 million budget. It was self-distributed by Markiplier, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah. There was some controversy with that, wasn't it? Because they didn't report
Yeah,
his movie on like the box office like list or something like that.
it's just because he basically sidestepped the major studios. He basically did what Taylor Swift did with the
Right.
concert thing. Is he went straight to the distributors,
Mm-hmm.
which is kind of like something that isn't really heard of. And clearly, it's working out for him because he's pretty much gonna keep all this money. I mean, this is a lot of money. He also self-financed the movie as well, so
True.
it's like completely his, which
Yeah,
is
yeah,
really
yeah.
cool. We will talk about Iron Lung. Well, it's not a great movie, but um, it is interesting how it's so successful and how it came to be. It almost had no marketing budget because he didn't have to market it. He had his 73 million subscribers do the marketing for him, which is really, really interesting. And I wonder if we're going to see more YouTubers get into the space like Mr. Beast. I could totally see him starting his own movie studio just because he has a stupid amount of money and he has a fucking chocolate brand. Why wouldn't
That's
he have a
true.
movie studio? Like, I just wonder if this is going to lead to more YouTubers kind of disrupting the status quo.
I mean, we've been seeing YouTubers like invade the movie industry for a few years now at this point. I think this is just another.
Smosh.
Yes, bro, Smosh. Smosh the movie, one of my favorite films of
Fred.
2013. Fred the film, we had the
That
iconic
was a
John Cena in
trilogy.
that one.
That was a
Exactly, bro.
trilogy. That got a
Exactly.
whole
So
friggin' trilogy.
we have YouTubers, already breaking new ground, I'd say.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
no, but genuinely, we have like the take me back, whatever, the horror films from like 2 years ago, from like a year and 2 years ago.
The Filico brothers, is
Yeah,
that
the Filippo
who?
brothers. And then the director of Until Dawn and the Shazam movies and like those films. I guess he wasn't really a YouTuber, but he started off on YouTube and then he went to actually
Yeah.
make other films. And then you have Markiplier and other things like that. Like I'm very interested in this era of I guess filmmaking where the people that I grew up watching on like the internet, Markiplier, all these people, are actually making films, like are actually making it in the industry, and I think that's incredibly exciting for me. Despite what I thought of Iron Lung, I'm still very happy it exists in the sense of it got made. It came to full fruition, and people are watching it, and people are enjoying it? Question mark. But it's being watched. It's being made. I think that's just a novelty in itself, and I want to see more YouTubers because I feel like also there are YouTubers with cinematic aspirations. I want to see that. I want to see that
Yeah.
be done more.
Yeah, it's really cool. I just wish the movie was good. We'll get to it. Uh,
Yeah.
at number three was the groundbreaking Melania documentary,
Yeah.
a true cinematic achievement. A true cinematic achievement. It opened at $7 million domestically on a $40 million budget, and was on its
Melania
first
Oscar
late.
sweep 2027.
Exactly. Amazon's First Lady documentary posted the best non-concert documentary opening in 14 years. Okay.
Interesting. Well,
At number
it is what it
four,
is, I guess.
yeah. At number four is, I think, insane. In Zootopia's 10th week, it managed not to have a drop in profit. It went up 9%, which is just something that doesn't happen ever. 5.8 million domestically this week. It went up 9%. And it's crazy. It's in its 10th week, and it's number four, ahead of Avatar, which is not even at 1.5 billion yet.
hmm
Ahead of so many movies, and one that really breaks my heart is 28 Years Later to the Bone Temple. It's in 10th place, and it's only third week.
Oh, yeah, that's a real
It's
bummer.
yeah. It only pulled in 1.6 million domestically this week, and its global box office is only at 47.8 million. It's not even breaking even with a budget, let alone making a profit. Um, which sucks
I mean, I think there's
because
still
that
hope for
movie
that
was so
trilogy.
good.
It was incredible. It definitely needs to be seen more. I just don't know what would make people care because it's also like a hard movie to market if you really want to think about it like that. Like,
Yeah, a lot of
um,
people didn't even know it was coming out. I guess I know some people thought that it was like a re-release of 28 Years Later because all
mhm.
the movies, they had the different naming conventions, 28
Yeah,
days, weeks later, years. This is the first one with like a subtitle, and people were just confused. I saw some like movie theater employees like online were talking about how they literally thought it was like a re-release of the other one with like some extended footage or whatever.
yeah. I mean, I
Uh,
think they just released them too quickly. Like I said this in the podcast before. I said this in a previous episode about. It really is just a damn shame the whole release of this film because it really could have been something. It could have been, it could have really shaken up the film industry world if it came out maybe in hell, maybe even in March or something like that. Just not in January and not so close to the previous one. And they also shouldn't have started the marketing because I said this before as well. I saw posters for both 28 Years Later when that movie was actually coming out in theaters and The Bone Temple like together
hmm
in the
Yeah,
theater themselves, and that confused me. I was like, wait, what's going on here?
yeah.
Um, so they should have just released it later. They should have not started the marketing when the first movie came out. Maybe just called it the Bone Temple. I was thinking about that too because it's just also kind of it's a very awkward title that leads to a lot that could lead to a lot of confusion. Um,
I think the way that they
Probably
could have best gone about it is like 28 years later and then 20 years later part two. I think that's just the clearest way
that's
to
fair.
get it across because technically like the bone temple, like the actual bone temple does appear in the original 20 years later movie, right? So it's not like, and also the trailers look really similar in vibe. I don't know if you've seen the two trailers, Nick, but
Sure.
they're both.
I remember. Actually, I do remember the trailer for 28 Years Later, for
Well,
this
yeah,
one.
that was like, yeah, that was a fantastic trailer. And then the Bone Temple trailer wasn't as good, but it was very similar in vibe. So
I mean,
I don't think it was distinct enough in marketing wise.
do you think it warrants like that part two? Like, do you think because I haven't seen the original, so whatever happens in the first, do you think people would be disappointed if that movie was called part two and then they saw it expecting like a direct sequel and it's not? Because I know the characters in Bone Temple aren't the main characters in uh 28 Years Later.
Well, Spike is the main character, and I guess he's not the main. I mean, who would you say that are the main characters of Bone Temple? Like Ian Kelson and Jimmy, right?
Yeah, I'd say so. I'm more than anything, Ian Kelson. I would say like his story with
Yeah,
the
with
the
Samson.
with Samson is like the
I guess
biggest
it's
one.
like like a 28 years later 1.5. I
Yeah,
don't know.
I was gonna say like DLC. That's what I was like thinking about it in my head. I was like, so it's like DLC. It's like more story to like something that doesn't
Yeah,
really matter but matters but doesn't really matter.
I
Um,
I don't know how that. I'm sure this was a bunch of conversations that they had like in the marketing room of like how they were going to do this.
I'm sure.
Um, I'm just worried about the third movie. Like, yes, they greenlit it, but it hasn't started production. Like, they could easily can it, and I
Would
really don't want it to.
I mean, I think it really just depends on how successful the first film was. I don't remember how successful it was, but
20 years later,
uh
it was like fine, successful. It wasn't like a it wasn't crazy successful, which is what I'm saying. It's like that one wasn't crazy successful. This one is definitely going to be considered a flop.
So
Um,
it grossed 151 million worldwide against a $60 million budget for 28 years later than
yeah,
the original. Um, which is great. Honestly, I think yeah. I mean, I'm not too concerned about the third film. I feel like we are gonna get it. I just think, or at least I hope, they have in perspective kind of the failures of releasing this film. I feel so bad for of releasing the Bone Temple. I feel so bad for Nia DaCosta too. Like holy shit, she actually
she does not get a break. Yeah.
she does not get a break, bro. She actually makes a good movie this time, and it nobody fucking watches it. What are the odds? Oh my god, poor girl. Um, but yeah, but I think we'll get a third film. If anything, ugh, if anything, it just won't be as big as they hope it to be. The
Uh-huh.
original film got like a $60 million budget, I presume. They might give it like a 45 or a 50 million or something like that, maybe something even less, but which would be
Hmm.
depressing. But you know, it, I you can only do so much. You can only look at your own failures and then be like, okay, how do I move on from this type shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, it's just sad. It's just sad, especially because yeah, it really was an incredible film. So far in so far in this year, is it my favorite movie of the year so far? I mean, we're in February, so it's not like it's much, but
I don't know,
it's
dude. Mercy, really.
yo, I forgot about Mercy. High key, I don't know, coming in
I
kind
don't
of
know. It's
good.
definitely the movie I've been thinking about the most that I've seen this year. I,
That would make
I
sense.
keep thinking about Bone Temple. That movie was just like I want to rewatch it. It was really
Really,
good. Yeah,
that's very interesting to me. That's very interesting to me that you like that movie a lot. But I'm glad.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, so this weekend overall pulled in 82.6 million dollars, which was up 35% from last week, but down 4.3% this time last year. Okay, so first kind of news story I want to talk about is something I found really interesting. So I'm just going to read the story and then we'll talk about it.
Hmm.
Tattle TV, a UK-based microdrama app, is leaning into the vertical video trend in an unexpected way. They're going to be remixing Alfred Hitchcock's 1927 silent film, The Lodger. The platform is releasing the film as short mini episodes designed specifically for vertical mobile first viewing. Using AI tools, Tattle is going to reframe the original footage into a vertical format, crop out entire characters at times so viewers can focus on the two main leads. The original score is going to be replaced with modern thriller style music to better match contemporary viewing expectations. Tattle is describing the project as one of the first known instances of a classic film being fully reframed for vertical mobile first consumption. The Lodger entered the public domain in 2023, so anyone is able to do whatever they want with it, essentially. Um, what do you think of this happening?
So they're not changing anything to the actual other than the aspect ratio, essentially.
And they're going to be cropping. They're going to be changing the score because obviously it's a silent era score. They're
Okay.
going to be uh,
This is a
giving
silent
it.
film?
Yeah, it's not
Okay.
Alfred Hitchcock's 19. It's a 1927 silent film.
Okay.
And it's going to crop out characters so that we're literally focused on just the two main characters.
That's so interesting. Do I love it? Do
Yeah,
I hate it? I don't know, honestly. I don't hate it. I
I
mean,
think
sorry. I want to hear your thoughts and then I'll give my thoughts.
Yeah, I think restructuring it for vertical entertainment isn't the worst thing in the world, but where I have a
Yeah.
problem with it is where we start like changing the original art of like changing the score, cutting out
Mhm.
characters. That's a different situation.
I also think the way they go about like actually putting this on they're putting this on an app or do they have their app or something?
Yeah, yeah, it's an app.
Okay. So I think also the way displaying this film what is going to be very important in terms of the amount of information they give you of the actual film itself. Like, this is not the actual screening. I guess they're not going to do that. I don't know. I was thinking like they could be like, oh, this isn't the actual movie. If you want to go watch the movie, it's still there. So I mean, that's kind of how I feel about it. Because on one hand, nobody's watching this shit. I haven't even heard about this movie ever. Um, so nobody's watching this shit. There are a few film people out there who care, and to those people who care, the original film still exists. It's all there. They could still go find it. But honestly, I don't mind it. I'm not the biggest fan of like cropping out characters or like doing certain things. I guess if that's the sacrifice that needs to be made for it to be brought forth to like a newer generation in a new way, quote unquote, I don't mind it. I just think you have to be respectful about it. I don't
Yeah,
love the fact that they're cropping out characters and like changing story aspects and stuff like that. But I'm also thinking like nobody's watching this. Absolutely nobody cares about this film.
yeah, that is
So
true.
why not at least attempt to make people care? Um, yeah, it's not like
Yeah,
sorry, I'll say something else, but you say your thing, and then I'll say something
I
else.
was just gonna say it's inevitable.
Sure.
It's gonna happen. It's been happening on TikTok where people are just like reframing it and putting it into like 1 minute intervals, right? The TikTok like
Yeah.
clips.
Exactly. I
So
mean,
it's
yeah, I've
it's
seen
essentially
clips.
that, but you're kind of altering it just a little bit more.
Uh-huh.
Um, but yeah, it's interesting. Sorry for I cut you off. What was your sentiment?
No, no, no. It's fine. I just want to ask, like, whatever. I would say that this is kind of different than the what is it called? Than the circle or not the circle, the sphere, Wizard of Oz thing. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I have more of a problem with that than with this because I think with that they're actually trying to add more to the film and they are directly corrupting the original vision. Like, I guess they're doing that with this one as well, but one they're like,
that's what I'm saying. It's kind of like a weird gray
I
area.
think
I don't
I
know.
think I think for me the difference lies in the lodger is being reduced. They're just reducing it for the conventions of today. While the Sphere Wizard of Oz, they're adding more shit and they're trying to make it seem like that's how it always was, and that there's no difference between or not there's no difference, but um yeah, like the way that they're presenting it to you in the Sphere is the way that it always has been or the way that it should be or something like that. That's what I don't like
Right.
about it, especially because they're going about it in such an unethical way with like AI and genuinely just making the film worse. That's where I have more problem with that. With this, not so much. They're not changing anything. They're not making anybody say anything different or changing any like angles or direction style other than fitting it in the handheld landscape mode or whatever you call that, portrait mode. But yeah, I don't know. I'm more interested to see what actually comes out of this. I want to see this because I think portrait mode storytelling could be something genuinely.
Oh, I
I
mean,
think Tubi was
it's
ahead of its time.
coming. It's coming.
Or not Tubi Quibi. Yeah, for sure, it's 100% coming. Like, there's no way. The real question is though, how long are people going to accept it, and how long is it going to be accepted as like how long is the medium actually going to be for? Are we going to have like hour movies in portrait mode? Are we going to have like 8 minute whatever's in portrait mode? I think
Yeah,
I think
it's
we're in a
definitely
really
not gonna be
interesting time.
hours.
Well, I don't know because people are on TikTok for like hours, and like people will watch like I don't know how long the limit is on TikTok. I know they keep like extending it, but I've seen people go sit for like 30 minutes in portrait mode just watching the same TikTok of like a person telling a story. And it'll have like millions of likes. So I wouldn't even be surprised. I just it really just comes down to the way that it's being delivered, the way that's being brought to audiences, and what
Hmm.
the type of story is, what it deems. I don't know. There's a lot of very interesting different factors, but I definitely think portrait mode filmmaking has potential, and I'm very interested.
Yeah, I guess my final thought about this is just I hope the thing is it's going to become inevitable where they're going to start. altering films more and more. Like now, it's going to start with just the music and just cutting out characters, but then I feel like maybe they're going to try and people are going to try and rewrite history, which could be a concern. But I guess we'll get there when we get there.
No, I see what you're saying. I think that's valid, which is why I think I think like putting descriptors or like advisors when presenting this film in that portrait mode, being like, oh, this isn't the original film. There are things coming out or whatever.
Yeah, that's
I
gonna be
do.
that's gonna be important.
Yeah, I think that's important. They for like there was just like old ass Looney Tunes racist cartoons that just existed. Whatever, Bugs Bunny doing
Yeah,
blackface.
yeah. I actually I know what you're talking about. Yeah, yeah. And they give like
Yeah,
the trigger warning.
they give trigger warnings. I think that's valid. I think that's a good way to go about it.
Yeah, just as
I
long as everyone knows, like
for
it's
sure.
not the original, and it has alterations.
Yeah, no, I think it's definitely going to be more of a thing. They're definitely going to start doing this if this turns out to be successful. Even if it doesn't turn out to be successful, we're still already seeing it. Bro, like I watch low key, I low key, I watch like episodes of Malcolm in the Middle and like a minute and a half segments on YouTube Shorts, bro.
Oh my
Because
god.
because that's how brain rotted my brain is. But I mean, I high key love that show, but um, it's just another way of presenting a story. Is it what the original director intended? No. Are they gonna hate it? Most likely. Um, but I think, yeah, I mean, having both is valid as long as the secondary like portrait mode doesn't say like we're the original, we're the main ones that doing we're the ones that doing this. This is how it should be. This is how you should watch it. More of
Right.
like almost like a trailer or like a little kind of like a little like sneak peek preview of what you would get if you actually watch the whole thing. I think that's kind of like the way to go about it. But I don't know. Who knows? We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. It's I don't think it's even out yet, so it's still super early, so we'll just have
Yeah.
to wait and see how it goes, how it turns out. Thing that was announced this week that I found to be very interesting is that Fast and Furious announced the release date for its hypothetical conclusion. I don't know if you
Finally.
are caught up. I don't know if you're caught up with the Fast and Furious movies, but the last one ended in 2023 on Loki an insane cliffhanger of half the cast allegedly over half the cast being killed. Like in the canon, obviously they're not dead,
Hmm.
but half the cast is dead. All the supporting characters fucking died. So, and then that came out in 2023, and we're in 2026, and we've heard nothing about the continuation. The conclusion to the saga. Um, Thankfully, Vin Diesel came to Instagram to bless my timeline with the announcement of Fast Forever, which is going to be dropping on March 17th, 2028. Um, yeah, we'll see. I mean, it's certainly going to be a Fast and Furious film.
It's gonna
I wonder
be
if they'll stick the
the
landing.
final Fast and Furious film. if
Yeah, I doubt that. I severely doubt that.
For
But
sure.
I think it might be the final one with this set of characters. I think maybe they'll reboot it or remake it in years. I'm sure we'll get more Fast and Furious eventually. I can see it becoming maybe a streaming show. Maybe lower the
Hmm.
budget, take it back to the street racing element and make it a streaming show. I could see that. But this iteration of Fast and Furious will be ending on March 17th, 2028. Almost 5 years after the previous. Um, I know that one had like a stupidly high budget and it did not make a profit, so that's why this one was taking so long because they had to like
They're
rewrite
gonna
it.
they're gonna introduce a younger, hotter cast for the next series of Fast and Furious
Yeah,
movies, and the last
like
one
they
will
always
be
do it, like they always do.
exactly, exactly.
It's
And
always so
honestly,
awkward rewatching like the end of a franchise and then like you can see like the characters that they're trying to make the reboot about. And then like it's always like so awkward like on a rewatch because it's like it never works out ever.
yeah, no, there. I mean, it's just we have like 8 films. How many movies is this officially
Dude, this
with
is
this new
number
one?
11. I mean,
11.
not counting Hobbs and Shaw, which is like the spinoff.
Not counting Hobbs and Shaw, this is 11 Fast and Furious films with the same
Yeah,
cast.
because the
Fuck
last
out
one
of
was
here, bro.
Fast X. Yeah, the last one was Fast X. So yeah,
Oh
this is
yeah,
Fast
I
11.
forgot about that. I really like the poster for Fast X. I don't know. I always remember it.
Yeah, I
Um,
do remember Jason Momoa being very, very fun.
yeah,
Like I remember it being my favorite. Like he plays a villain, and he it's my favorite Jason Momoa performance. Incredibly
good.
fun.
I'm glad.
So
That's cool.
I am excited to see more of that, but we'll see how this movie turns out.
I mean, yeah, I haven't seen any of the films other than Hobbs and Shaw. I if you want to do another like Fast and Furious, um, what is it called? Watch along. The thing that we're doing with Scream with Fast and Furious when
Okay,
it comes out.
I'm down. I'm down. Actually, that's
I'd be
fine.
actually so down for that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
I don't
this is
know.
gonna be like the end game for Fast and Furious because like fucking The Rock is back in the post credit scene of the last one. Like The
Mm-hmm.
Rock is, he put his shit aside with Vin Diesel. He's back.
Mm-hmm.
Gal Gadot came back in the last one, even though she's been dead. Uh, yeah, I don't know.
Bro,
It's
at this point, like they're gonna make 50 more Fast and Furious movie, and then like the actual final Fast and Furious movie, they're just gonna bring the original cast, and they're gonna be racing in fucking mobile chairs, dog. Like that's what it's gonna be. Like,
yeah,
it's insane. They're gonna keep making these
yeah.
movies, and honestly, there's a space for them in Hollywood. Like people still like cars. And these are cool, quote unquote, cool movies. So I could see it happening. Just get a younger cast in there. It'll be fine.
Yeah, I just feel like everybody has the same complaint of them like not focusing on the street racing anymore. So I think it's such
Right.
an easy fix. Focus on the street racing and make it less about these like crazy world-ending stakes. And I
But they need
think,
to have like lasers and robberies and millions of dollars of money, bro. Like that's how you get butts and seats, dog.
yeah,
I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, but focusing on the street racing would be nice. I wouldn't mind that. I'd like that. I'd watch that.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, that brings us to the end of what's poppin' and into what we watched. Welcome to week 3 of our Scream rewatch. This week we watched Scream 3, both of us. Um, Nick, what did you think of Scream 3?
So yeah, I definitely liked it less than Scream 2. Um, but I still enjoyed it. I still had fun with it. I think I think honestly, I think you told me that the fourth film is the last with this main cast of characters. I mean, they still they come back and they make cameos and they like revolve, they orbit around like the world of the film as they continue. But for the most part, like the fourth film is where
Yeah,
this
because
main cast of
five,
characters ends.
yeah, 5 and 6 was supposed to like be kind of like the passing of the torch. Um, I mean, the thing is that like they get full arcs in those movies. Like it,
Right.
so it's just like a side adventure, and then 7 they're bringing it back
Okay. Yeah, because I
to
was gonna say
the
like
cast.
I like these characters, but I don't think they're very I don't think they have like enough of them to really like be enough of who they are as characters to really what is the word I'm looking for, kind of
I mean, the only three
drive
that we
a
follow,
franchise.
the only three that we're following are Gale, Dewey, and Sid,
Right,
essentially.
true. Well, I guess I'm saying I guess what I'm saying is I don't think Sid is as interesting of a main character as the franchise needs it to be.
Okay.
I like Sid. I think she's cool and I like seeing her adventures, but even in this last one, I could tell a lot of times that like they did not want to focus on Sid. They kind of like felt the need to, or at least I felt that. I felt like the most interesting part that that the filmmaker was interested in, honestly, was the Gale and Dewey subplot. They put a lot of time in that, and also the other things surrounding Sid and Gale and Dewey, more than
hmm
actually Sid themselves. I don't know if they just are less interested in her, or me as an audience, as a watcher, I'm less interested in her. But
hmm
it is what it is. Um, but overall, though, I thought it was a fun film. You know, I'd say out of it's my like least favorite that I've seen so far.
hmm
Just
Yeah,
because
it is considered a lot of people's worst Scream film.
you told me that they had to change a lot of things in production because of
Yeah,
Columbine, because it really came out in
so
2000.
yeah, this movie was plagued by a lot of behind the scenes issues. I'll finish your review, and then I'm gonna kind of say the behind the scenes stuff.
Sure, sure, sure. I mean, yeah, it wasn't. I just wanted to mention that. because you could tell within the film that the action scenes or just the scenes in general weren't as elaborate. Um, the twist was also kind of uninteresting to me, um, and I think with these films, you kind of it's hard to say. I feel like I'm not saying a lot, but with these films, what you watch, or at least what I've been continuously watching more, is the continuing character of Gale and Dewey more than anything else, just because I genuinely love them. And
They're so good. They're the best.
yeah, and the horror scenes and the horror like action set pieces of being chased by the ghost mask and everything, and
Yeah.
kind of that tension that rises. I think for me, where the movie really loses me is when low key nothing is happening. Is when these characters are going through their emotional moments. Or when I mean characters, I mean Sid. Just because she's a little bit repetitive in terms of her arc, in terms of like what continuously actually is that true, I don't know. I just think having one monster chase the same person over and over again just gets boring. i don't even
Hmm.
I don't even think it has anything to do with maybe like her arc or her or what she's doing. I just think I need to see something new, or I need to see someone
Hmm.
new get like terrorized more than
Right.
just poor old Sid. um But I think, regardless of all of that, it's still a worthy inclusion in the franchise, and I'm excited to keep going. I want to see where this goes on. I want to see how else they can terrorize the people of California.
Hell yeah. So yeah, okay. So I'm gonna give you some quick context. So yeah, the Columbine shooting had a large impact on this. They had to lower a lot of the violence
Mm-hmm. That
um,
would make sense. That makes sense.
because of the studio. It was a lot of studio intervention.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Second thing that happened is that they weren't like Sydney wasn't going to be in the film because of scheduling conflicts,
Really?
and they weren't paying her enough, or no, I don't. Either they weren't paying her enough, or she wanted more money, something like that,
Mm-hmm.
and also scheduling conflicts. They reached a deal where she only had 20 days on set, which is why she separated for most of the film.
Okay, that's fair.
Um, and then, that's why she feels so kind of out of place because she wasn't even going to be in the film for some points of it. And then the last thing I feel that kind of makes it messy is this is the only movie with one Ghostface, um, which doesn't really make too much sense. And the reason for that is because in production there was a second Ghostface. There was a second Ghostface,
Mm-hmm.
and then they just re-edited it to where she didn't exist. Do you want to guess who the second Ghostface was? Do you know?
No, I don't know.
Okay, it was going to be Angelina, which was the actress playing Sid, like in the
Oh
Stab 3
yeah,
movie.
yeah. Whoa. Okay. Wild. That would make sense though, because the well, actually, we'll not spoil it.
Yeah, there's some like fan theories that she is still the killer, but Roman just wanted to take all the credit or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. But that just like, yeah, you can like say what if for anything,
I was gonna
in a
say
movie.
that just sounds like
That's
a
more of like a
conformity gate.
headcanon.
That sounds like
Yeah,
conformity
yeah, yeah. But yeah,
gate.
I just think it's cool, like knowing that because it kind of I feel like with a character like Ghostface,
Hmm.
you need the two people, like the one taunting you on the phone, with the voice changer in this case. Which I love the voice changer, by the way. I know some people don't like the voice changer. I think it was really ahead of its time for
I
the year
think.
2000. I
Uh-huh.
think that was really cool.
The I don't know. I like the voice changer. I think it's cool. I what I didn't love, and I don't know if this was in the second or third film, was that they introduced a voice changer that can like imitate other people's voices.
Yeah, like
Was that in the third
that's
one
what
or
I'm
the
talking
second
about.
one?
Yeah, that's the third one. That's what I'm
Okay,
talking
okay,
about. Like
okay.
the one that imitates other people's voices. I like the voice changer aspect. I like
Okay,
that.
I don't like it. I think it's a little too much of a cop out. I think it's too easy,
Yeah,
and I think it doesn't make
that's
sense
the
for the
thing with this
time.
movie. People either love it or hate it, like the voice recreator thing.
Yeah,
And
I
I
also
get it.
think.
It's not for everyone.
Yeah, I mean, I think also like another thing about this movie that I forgot to mention. Sorry. was like the meta aspects of it, because the whole premise of like is them making like a Scream movie in the movie, because it's now become a whole story and everything. Um, it's I think they started off with this like meta idea with the first Scream, and then they keep pushing it to its, I guess, limit or whatever. But
Hmm.
it's lost. It kind of becomes a parody of itself. It is a parody within the film. Like Stab is a parody. Is technically like a parody of Scream or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, but I think like the more they make it into a reality, at what point does it become? At what point does it stop being meta and does it become just like, yeah, this is just part of the story, I guess. You know what I mean? Like, at what point does it stop becoming satirical? Is what I'm saying. Because I feel like
I would say
on
I would say Scream 4 is kind of where I get it just where it stops being satirical. I also think like these three came out in such close succession, not much changed in the horror genre for them to
that too.
comment on.
Yeah.
There's an 11-year gap between Scream 3 and Scream 4,
Hmm.
where I would say the horror genre did change a lot more towards like brutal, like gore, uh, you know, stuff like that. So I think when we're talking about this next week about Scream 4, we'll have. I don't think you'll be as like worn out. I think you'll have more to sink your teeth on.
I hope so. I hope so. But yeah, no. But regardless, I know I have fun, so we'll be chill.
Yeah, yeah. My last note I want to mention is that the killer Roman Bridger, his motive
Hmm.
doesn't really work for me.
Yeah.
He's complaining about how his life isn't that good. Brother, you're a Hollywood director. uh, there are worse places to be. Yes, you're like a bastard son or whatever, which sucks. Um, doesn't mean, you're still a Hollywood director, you know? And
The
yeah,
real villain
just
of the
wanted to
Scream
mention that.
franchise so far is Sydney's mom. Actually, she's the one.
Yeah, for being
She
such
was.
a, yeah,
If she didn't do, if she wasn't born, we would have never had these films. Nothing bad would have ever happened to these people.
yeah, if she
Uh,
just, didn't
if
cheat on
she
her husband.
that too. If she, oh god, poor everyone, really. Um,
Yeah,
but yeah, no, I think I also wasn't a big fan of the his whole like motivation and everything. I'm not a big fan of twists where it was like it's this low key new character. I know he wasn't a new character. I mean, he is a new character in the franchise, but he was a new character like who just showed up at the end of the film. But when it's like, oh, it was me all along, and not just for this film, but like the whole story, like I did everything. Unless it's like genuinely really planned out and like properly shown, and I can like actually
yeah.
go back to the
This
original
definitely,
story and
this
be
definitely
like,
wasn't. This
that's
definitely
what I'm
wasn't.
saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, I know that they just did that as like, to make it more interesting. I really hate that. I despise that. I
Yeah.
think it's easy. I think it's
Now,
cop out.
if
It's not earned.
if the rumor that Scream 7, the opening kill of Scream 7 is gonna be like Roman, like coaching Stu and Billy on killing Maureen, that would be an insane way and might
That
make
would be
me enjoy
interesting.
this one a lot more in retrospect.
Hmm.
But I don't know. I think it's hard for me to believe that's what's going to happen.
Did they say he's gonna come back for the seventh for the seventh one?
So yeah, so Roman, the actor who plays Roman Bridger, is confirmed to be in the film. Playing what role, like doing what, we don't know.
Hmm.
But that's already Stu confirmed, Roman Bridger confirmed, and Dewey confirmed, which are all, uh, by that point in the timeline, dead characters. So
Yeah,
very interesting what that movie's going to do.
we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Because like you also mentioned something. I don't want to say it because um, it might be a spoiler. But you mentioned something about how they might introduce all these characters in the seventh film, and I was like, that could also be likely. We'll just have to see. I'm very interested.
Yeah, I'm very excited. I really sorry. I know we're rambling on about Scream, but I just want to
This is
my
officially
my
the Scream podcast. We're the Ghostface
yeah,
boys.
yeah. My last thought I just want to say is that I really am choosing to believe that there's a reason why they're not spamming the marketing Um, it's February 4th. The movie comes out in 23 days. We only have a teaser trailer. Um, I know it's like confirmed that we're getting a full trailer this weekend at the Super Bowl.
Cool.
And I really need to choose to believe that they're not promoting it because there's just so much spoilery stuff that it's like they just can't promote it without spoiling.
I well, I mean, you might be right about that because yeah, I haven't seen anything. The biggest advertisement I've seen is the glass wall thing that they have on the side of my Regal with like Scream 7, and that's it. And I haven't heard anybody talk about it. Nobody care about it. I bet you if I just went to my college right now and I was like, "Did you know there was a new Scream movie coming out?" They'd be like, "What? Like, are you serious?"
Yeah,
It's depressing.
yeah. Only this week they've started kind of ramping up promotion on social media. They dropped like a TV spot, and my guess is that TV spot is what's going to play like during the 30-second Super Bowl spot, like moment,
Yeah,
whatever, and then simultaneously they'll drop like a full trailer online. That's what they typically do
yeah,
with
that makes sense.
Super Bowl stuff. I'm curious. I'm really excited. I really am worried the movie's gonna flop. I don't know.
I
We'll see.
I mean, I hope I hope it doesn't flop at all. But low key, I'm kind of with
Yeah,
you
the
on that.
movie is gonna be fighting an uphill battle. I will say that.
I mean, it's
Um,
been fighting an
so
uphill battle even since before production with
yeah, that's what I'm
uh
talking about. Like with everything.
yeah. Oh boy, we'll have to see. We might have another Scream 3 on our hands.
My God.
That'd be depressing.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Do you have anything else that you want to talk about for what we watched?
I do actually. I was at the theater this week a little bit. Give me. I watched this week Arco, which is nominated for a Best Animated Picture. Yeah, I really liked it. Honestly, a lot of fun. Really beautiful film. It's a French animated film about a little boy from the future who goes back in the past and kind of like tries to find a way to get back to the future. When I was watching it, I was like, so this is Back to the Future meets oh my god, I had another comparison for it in my head, but now I've completely forgotten it. Point is, it's a fun film. It sounds a little derivative, and I'm not going to say it's not, but there are ways that the film is unique in some genuinely beautiful animation of like, these landscapes and the way that they animate him flying. The colors that they decide to use on like certain characters is very interesting to me. Uh, yeah, I don't know. I just recommend it a lot. I think I think my only issue with it was, I guess, like how derivative and a little bit predictable the story could be. Um, but I almost count it more as like a fairy tale. It kind of it without sounding too overzealous about it. It kind of gave me like early Disney vibes, if I'm being completely honest, and be like, yeah, I could see
Hmm.
if they put like the Disney label on this, 100% I'd accept it. Um, yeah, I don't know. Watch it, please. If you're interested, if you have any sort of seeming interest in either animation or just a good movie, a good kids movie, which doesn't feel like a kids movie, because it also talks a lot about like death and family, and there are very serious topics that are touched on in the film. Um, yeah, I don't know. Watch it, please. I think more. I want more. I want to see more eyes on this.
Awesome.
Did
Yeah,
you
I
watch
also quickly
anything?
just want to.
Sorry.
Yeah, I just want to give a quick last shout out to Wonder Man.
Oh, true. I have yet to watch that.
Yeah, so okay, so in that case, I'm not going to go into detail because I want to talk about it with you once it's done. I just
Okay.
really enjoyed it, and I'm excited to have a discussion with you once you get a chance to watch it.
Yeah, I've watched the first episode, so stay tuned for next week for our Wonder Man discussion. But regardless of anything, just from that first episode, big fan. Watch it, please, because I feel
Yeah,
like
it's great.
nobody
It's great.
is.
It's
Um,
great.
yeah, did you watch anything else this week, other than
Nothing worth mentioning. I watched Sung Sung Blue, fine movie. I've been
mhm.
rewatching Star Wars, so I've seen like episode one and two. And I just watched X2 last night. So just nothing crazy. What about you?
Yeah, nothing else super insane. The only thing, other thing I watched this week was Blade Runner, the original, the final cut. Never seen it
Very
before.
cool.
Holy cow, gorgeous! I've never seen anything like it. Genuinely blew me away. Um, the story and other aspects of the film also great. Not doesn't reach that same like level of like something that I would recommend for purely story alone. Um, but like bro, I don't know. It's a beautiful film. It's such a material. It's such a texturized like physic. Like I feel it when I touch it, or when I watch it. Like I feel like I'm touching it. If that makes sense.
Hmm.
Um, it's just a beautiful film. I want to watch it again, and I want to hang it up. If I could hang up every single frame on my wall, I could. I would. That's pretty much how I describe Blade Runner.
Awesome. Yeah, I need to watch that movie. I've seen the new one, but not the original.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, let's get head into our main review of Send Help. Quick spoiler-free summary: a woman and her overbearing boss become stranded on a deserted island after a plane crash. They must overcome past grievances and work together to survive. But ultimately, it's a battle of wills and wits to make it out alive. Um, I'll start. I had a really, really, really great time with this film. I thought it was really funny. I thought it was tense. I thought it was shot really well. I thought the performances from both Dylan O'Brien and Rachel McAdams were just phenomenal. Specifically, Rachel McAdams. She
Mm-hmm.
really allows herself to just go feral in this movie, allow herself to get dirty, to get covered in blood and yak. Um, I just thought it was a great, great performance, and it's not a type of performance that I know is going to get recognized by the Oscars. Um, but man, it was great. I thought the power dynamics between the two characters, like you never know who's supporting who, if he's going to betray her or not.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that all really worked really, really well for me. I like the score. I thought the score was great. Um, yeah, I overall had a really, really great time with Send Help. Um, I think it was such a great return to form for Sam Raimi. And I love seeing him in the horror comedy space. I would love to see him get more. What about you?
Honestly, same. What a great picture. Genuinely, it reminds me a lot of movies that we don't get anymore. There was a lot of moments within the film with specifically the sound design, or like certain sound effects, or like, or yeah, certain sound effects. I was just like, we don't do that anymore. Movies don't do that anymore.
Yeah,
With like when like they show something and there's like a little like wind chime effect, or they I don't know. I very much like the more vintage style Sam Raimi has, even though
yeah,
it's
it
not
definitely felt like
vintage.
old Hollywood style filmmaking.
For sure, for sure. And the crazy thing is, it's like it's not even like old Hollywood. It's just how he does it. But we see it as old Hollywood because we don't see that anymore, and that's really sad too, in my opinion. But
I agree.
yeah, no, it's an incredible film, colorful film. It's a fun film. I think, yeah, like what you said, the dynamic between Rachel McAdams and Dylan O'Brien, like never knowing who's thinking what or what's going on. It did keep me on the edge of my seat the whole time. I also, Rachel McAdams is great. She really goes feral. But I also want to give a shout out to Dylan O'Brien. I didn't think he'd be so funny. I was genuinely
Oh,
surprised how
he's
funny
great.
that guy is.
He's great. I've been on a big Dylan O'Brien kick recently. Ever since I think I saw him in Twinless.
Okay, yeah, that would make
Yeah,
sense. Yeah,
when I thought it was Splitsville. He is
yeah.
so great. Like he's such a fun on-screen presence. Oh, and he was an Anniversary. That's another film I watched. I was like, what else have I seen him in? It was just another film that came out last year that he was in, and he's just such a great performer. I really, really like Dylan O'Brien. I know he actually auditioned for Spider-Man, so he could have been our Spider-Man instead of Tom Holland. That could have been
That's
really
crazy.
interesting.
That'd be a weird world that we live in. I don't see it. I prefer Tom Holland over Dylan O'Brien, but
Me too.
they're definitely something there. The only other thing I've seen him in is the Maze Runner movies from years ago. Do you remember those movies?
Yeah, I haven't seen them, but I know of them.
Yeah, I was a big fan of them as a kid, and I thought it was cool back then. I haven't seen him in anything else other than so. This is my reintroduction to Dylan O'Brien, and yeah, like bro's funny. Bro's just funny and knows how to hold tension. Bro,
Charismatic, very
charismatic as
charismatic.
fuck, and yeah, manipulative. I think that's the part that I really liked about the film is he was obvious. Well, do you want to get into spoilers? Do you have anything else to say?
Yeah, we can just head into spoilers. If you
For
haven't seen the
sure.
movie and you plan to, this is a good time to click off.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I mean, when he was manipulating this girl or whatever to like, get convince her to take care of him on the island, it felt genuine. It felt real. It was like, damn. And I'm sure that also goes with the directing as well. Um, you know, maintaining holding on Dylan O'Brien while doing that. But I just think that was also like that's a skill when in of itself, as well as Rachel McAdams' skill of just being a weirdo, just being a fucking freak. I also just love performances that go. Now I'm talking about Rachel McAdams. I also just love performances that are just like you're a weird person, but I fuck with you. You know what I mean? But like that's our main character. She's just like a weird,
Yeah, Linda Little,
slightly
such a fun
yeah,
protagonist.
for sure.
You definitely get that secondhand embarrassment that all the characters like in the film are getting just by being around her. Like the
Mm-hmm.
whole thing, like with the tuna and
With
like
the
it
tuna
being
fish,
on her,
yeah,
on her like lip, and
lower
then like it
lip.
got into his hand. Like that's such a funny, like relatable situation because everyone knows someone like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't know. I just thought it was so fun, and the start of the film just really like lets you kind of like sit in how awful everyone is so that
Yeah.
when the inevitable plane shit happens, like it's just so fun watching these terrible people die. Um, and then I love the power relationship dynamic between the characters, like the boss arc, like the boss thing, like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm your boss. Like I just thought that was a very fun through line through the film. I just thought it was great.
I feel like I also complain a lot about movies being either too short, no, mainly too long. I would say that this is a movie that is the perfect amount of time. I got everything
Yeah,
that I wanted out of it. Great
great
pacing,
pacing that didn't overstay its welcome.
absolutely not.
Just a great fun little thriller. I was worried when this was announced to drop in January that it was just kind of gonna it was kind of getting dumped.
Same.
Um, but yeah, no, I mean, people, I know everyone seems to be loving it. Um, it's great. It's so fun just having that Sam Raimi filmmaking again. It's great.
Yeah. One more thing I want to mention about the story. I love how it ends. I love how she faces no consequences. um, because obviously this is the point, right? Where to get to a CEO, you have to be a killer, and literally or figuratively, and and people don't care when a man does it because whatever, that's like their role or whatever. Um, that's that. I mean, that's how I interpreted the film. So when that happens to Linda Little at the very end, it's like it's comeuppance and it makes sense. I feel
Yeah,
like a lot of times, especially films recently, and I'm also saying this for myself and like my own writing. A lot of times we get hung up with like the morality of characters or like is this character still likable or not or sometimes films would be too scared to push their character to do something kind of unlikable for the sake of their arc or something like that. Um, but I love how this film just didn't give a shit. It was just like, yeah, she's gonna kill these people indirectly. She's gonna kill these people and she's gonna win. She's our hero, and you're still gonna root for her. And I did. I absolutely still did. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I really like that. I don't know if you have any thoughts about that, but
yeah. It was so fun watching like learning more about Linda and like
mm-hmm.
her uh, I don't say abilities, but almost like supernatural, like almost like superhuman
Her
ability to
quirks.
survive in the wild. Yeah,
Yeah.
like she was just such a fun protagonist, and they allowed her to get dirty and allowed her to make questionable decisions, which just made it fun because you put you on the edge. You don't know what she's gonna do.
Absolutely.
Um, she is much better than me though. If that was my boss, whoo, he's dying. He is
Absolutely.
dying. I'm letting him suffer.
I just wouldn't give a shit. I
Um,
wouldn't even pick him up from the beach. I'd be like, oh, okay, cool. That's just a corpse now, I presume.
I would low key be upset that he didn't fucking die from the plane.
Real. But then again, you would be all alone on an island. So, you
That
know.
yeah, that is true. Um, yeah, great film. And I'm excited to see where Sam Raimi's gonna go next.
Absolutely. I mean, it's the guy's old, which is like, I mean, he's not super old. Let me see how old he is exactly. Um, I know he's older. He is 66. We'll see. We'll see if he makes another film. Because I mean, because like you said, it's been more than 10 years, like 15 years, something like that. No, 14 years since his. No, my bad. 17 years.
Yeah,
Actually,
29,
yeah,
2009.
2009. Yeah, 17 years. Quick maths for you and how I can't do them. Yeah, 17 years since his last film. So I wanted to make another one because this was a lot of fun. Uh, I feel like
Yeah,
it was very refreshing more than anything. I haven't seen a movie be so uncaring for the discourse of like the world that we live in. I guess that's not even necessarily true. But yeah, just uncaring for the discourse, uncaring for the kind of like the present. It feels like a vacuum a little bit. It feels like this
hmm
is just like a world that they just exist in, separate from ours, yet our world. Um, but it also feels relevant to our time, which is, I guess, the point. I don't know. I just like the fact that nothing about this new era, other than maybe Survivor, which is kind of universal at this point, um, seeps into this film. So I can just go back to it 20 years later and be like, that was a great movie. It just felt refreshing. It was timeless, is what I'm saying. It felt timeless.
hmm
In a way that many movies today have not felt. And yeah, please make more movies, Sam Raimi. I beg you.
Yeah, he's a producer on the upcoming Evil Dead Burn film for this year. So he has he's heavily involved with that. So we'll have some of his flair later this year again. Um, yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
For sure.
With
One more thing. How long do you think you'd last
mhm.
on that island with your boss? If you had to take care of, like, if you were
Fuck,
Linda Little, how long would?
I have zero survival skills. I mean, I would be dead. I would honestly pray I die like from the fallout of the airplane, like for
Really?
real,
I think
because
I. Sorry, you
because
say.
I feel like that would be a much quicker death.
Yeah, that would make sense. I don't know. I feel like I'd give it a go at least. Maybe like I'd say a week. I'd last on an island. If I'm
Uh-huh.
lucky, if I find like fruits and veggies and water here and there.
Right.
Probably a week
That's
until
funny.
like some tiger gets like mauls me,
Right, right,
cuts me
right,
like
right.
a fish. But yeah,
Makes
I don't
total
know.
sense.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was it was a great film, and I hope all of you guys have a chance to check it out.
please do.
Um, I believe that brings us to the end of episode 23 of Popcorn Problems. Thank you guys so much for joining us. If you made it this far, you're the real MVP. We'll be back next week breaking down A24's newest film, The Moment. In the meantime, hit us up on socials at Popcorn Problems Pod and let us know what you thought of said help. Don't forget to follow, rate us 5 stars on whatever platform you're using, and DM us your hottest takes and suggestions. We will see you next time. Peace.
Have a good one.